Attorney, and I want to remind everybody too that what we're asking for is already a right, and what we're asking for is already the norm. From LA to London, there is a defined amount of time that people can be held before a call is made out of the station to their legal counsel. Okay, April Cantala, thank you for sharing your story. Recent on the hotline for first defense, trying to access somebody held in Home and Square.
My name is April Cantala, Kentala. I'm an attorney volunteer for First Defense Legal Aid. I've been volunteering since about November of 2014 and have taken numerous hotline calls in that time. Unfortunately, what I've encountered over that period of time does not comport with what I recently learned in law school about individuals' Fifth and Sixth Amendment rights to remain silent and to counsel under the U.S. Constitution and Article 1 of the Illinois Constitution. What First Defense Legal Aid is asking for today is for partnership with the Chicago Police Department to ensure that individuals in police custody be made aware of their right to counsel and given the means to invoke that right. The right to counsel is meaningless if there are no means to invoke it. What First Defense Legal Aid provides is the means, a free 24/7 hotline that people can call and get near immediate access to defense counsel. All we need is for a little bit of cooperation with the Chicago Police to enable people to be made aware that this service exists and the means for them to be allowed to call us within a reasonable period of time so that their Sixth Amendment right to counsel actually has some meaning. I've been in situations where family members have called into the hotline aware that their loved ones have been taken into custody, and I've gone through the process of locating them by calling central booking. I've been directed to different district police stations only to arrive there and find out that even though it says in the system the arrestee has been taken to that station, they aren't in fact there. They might be at Home and Square. I can sit around and wait for them if I want. They'll get there eventually to one of the district stations, but no one has any idea how long that's going to take. Individuals can be held in Chicago police custody for up to 48 hours without even being charged. So I could literally spend days waiting for someone to show up at the station where central booking says that they currently are. I've gone down to Home and Square to try and track these people down. I have been through the bizarre process of being let in through a side garage door and sitting in a small surveillance booth with Judge Judy in the background, waiting for someone resembling a police officer to tell me where my client is, only to eventually come face to face with a detective who tells me, oh gosh, the person I'm looking for isn't there. They're at the district station. And when I asked, well, I was just at the district station 20 minutes ago, and they said that they were here. Oh, well, they must have been incorrect. I go back to the district station and find that my client just arrived. And I wonder, how long would my client have been at the Home and Street station without access to legal counsel had I not chased them down? They were not allowed to call anyone, and even though someone called on their behalf, I was still denied access to them for a period of time that I find unacceptable. What we're asking for today is for the Chicago Police Department to do its job, enforce the law that gives people the right to counsel when they are taken into police custody.
Can I ask Sarah Gelsomino to come up, please? Sarah Gelsomino has personally been turned away and had trouble identifying where clients are. Turns out they're at Home and Square, and we stand with her today and hear her story. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah Gelsomino, Gelsomino, and I'm an attorney at the People's Law Office. And I do know from experience the impact, experience as a criminal defense lawyer and a civil rights lawyer, the impact of individuals who are held incommunicado in police custody. When I represented NATO Summit protesters in the lead up to the NATO Summit in 2012, they were arrested in the middle of the night and disappeared into police custody for over 17 hours. And we could not find them for over 17 hours despite our best efforts to locate them. And inside, they were terrified. They were terrified that they didn't know, that no one knew where they were on the outside. They were terrified that they didn't know when or if they'd ever been released. And every time they asked for a phone call, every time they asked to talk to their lawyers, they were told, no, you do not get to call a lawyer. No, you do not get a phone call. That's not how this works. And as you just heard, this wasn't some anomaly. This wasn't some unique situation in the lead up to the NATO summit. This is the norm. This is standard operating procedure for the Chicago Police Department, and it is unconstitutional, plain and simple. All of us have the right to legal counsel. It is one of the fundamental constitutional rights. It is a bedrock principle for our entire criminal legal system. The least the city of Chicago can do is to provide detainees in their custody with a meaningful right to access that fundamental right to counsel. The negative and lasting impact of the denial of this right, not only on detainees and arrestees in police custody, but on their families and on their communities, is immeasurable, and it can no longer be tolerated. It is unconscionable for the city of Chicago and for its police department to continue to intentionally deny arrestees their right to this fundamental constitutional right to access a lawyer. You know, part of the impetus to form FDLA, as I understand it, was the fact that for years, individuals were being held incommunicado and were being tortured by the now infamous John Burge and his henchmen. And decades later, this city is still trying to contend with the immeasurable harm that resulted from that torture. We need reparations at this point to try to heal some of the damage that resulted from that torture. We need the city council and the mayor to step up and to publicly support the reparations ordinance, which is finally going to hearing in front of the city council on April 14th. But now the city has an opportunity to make change now, to try to stem some of this police misconduct that we see happening around this city every single day. So that decades from now, we're not standing in the same position, still reeling from the impact of racist and oppressive policing throughout this city. One very small but significant step the city can take today is what FDLA is demanding. All the city needs to do in this one step is to actually give people the opportunity to call their lawyer. That's not so much to ask. Post the phone number for FDLA and allow people to call them. How can the city, in good faith, say that is not take that step? It won't change everything, but it will change some things, and it is a significant and important step in the right direction. And the time for change isn't in months from now after more negotiations. The time for change is today.